From the Woodshed, a candid conversation with Chase Morrill and Ryan Eldridge from Kennebec Cabin Company, home of the Maine Cabin Masters. Brought to you by Nelma, safeguarding our lumber resources since 1933. See the stamp, trust the quality. Now, from the Woodshed studio at KCC headquarters in Manchester, Maine, it's Chase and Ryan.
From the Woodshed, I'm Chase Morrill. With me, as always, is Ryan Eldridge.
Hi, guys.
And Maggie Morrill.
Hi.
We're here to talk about all things Maine, all things cabin, all things Maine cabin related.
And films today.
And films today. Our guest today is Karen Carberry Warhola, director of the Maine Film Office. So it'll be great to find out what exactly they do and what's going on in Maine in the film industry.
It's a pretty cool topic when you think back to all the movies you've seen growing up.
All of it.
So much.
Yeah.
I got a million questions.
I was in a couple of them. Well, maybe one of them.
Oh, you were? You were a sit-in or an actor or a fill-in?
Yeah, a made-for-TV movie.
An extra?
I was an extra.
Empire Falls?
No.
Do you know?
Yeah. But, yeah, so we want to thank our sponsors, Nelma, nelma.org, easternwhitepine.org, sprucepinefir.org.
And check out Here Media Arts, where everyone's a hero. They got some really neat videos about local artists and craftsmen just doing everyday stuff.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. You can find us at KennebecCabinCompany.com, our YouTube page, our Instagram feed, all of it. Look for it. Keep the questions coming. Thank you. And, yeah, keep the comments coming as well.
Keep them coming in. It's rainy Friday. It's kind of a first one in a long time.
First one in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But the film crew's back next week. We'll have another group of camps wrapped up.
Yeah, they're looking good.
We're getting there.
Right down the wire. There's a big camp this time. You forget how big a big camp. You forget the dynamics of a big camp. Most of we do it small and manageable. This thing is big.
Yeah. What Dixie was saying, we probably went through 7 or 8 lifts of
yeah.
Eastern White Pine. Just pining away.
Just for our friends Nelma.
Not just for our friends
Not
Nelma.
just no. We had some Robbins lumber. We had some nice stuff on there.
We love it.
And then all the camps are picked for the year.
Camps are lined up.
We're doing a great community project.
Yep. And now really it's just a matter of making sure everything, I mean, it's so easy right now for one thing to throw it all.
So I had a guest over at my house the other day, and he's like, "Oh, you can spend the night in the office." Well, don't you need your office? Looks like you do a lot of work here. I'm like, from March, April, and May, I'm in there looking at applications. Like, think about how much time you spend on your computer.
Yeah.
But now it's like, it's in overdrive, and the eye's on the prize, and now we're just building and thinking out getting materials and where the guys are going to go.
Oh, it's true. Same with my Doyat. I mean,
no computer
the barn
stuff.
is like, it's just chock-a-block stuff full everywhere. And, a month or two, I'll have to start going through and organize. But right now, it's just get it, set it down, and move on to the next thing. And it's chaos.
And then you forget to pick up stuff. And then you hit it with your plow, and you're like, you looked at that for a month, 2 months.
Yeah. So this last windstorm, what was it? Last night? Night before?
2 nights ago.
2 nights ago, we had giant maple trees in front of our house. And a few months ago, one branch fell down right in front of the house.
Missed you.
Just missed us. And my mother's like, you need to take that other one down or it's going to fall down and kill you.
Baggy. Nice
and
work.
Sure enough, this windstorm dropped middle of the night, but dropped perfectly. Like just brushed the front porch windows. I mean, it didn't even touch. We have a magnolia planted out front. Didn't even touch that. I mean, it couldn't.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Did it
was
wake you guys up?
No, it was like 4 a.m. or something.
Oh, we all heard. I mean, it
I was coming out at 7. I was like,
it was big.
"Can you help me across the street?" He goes, "Yeah, text me because I'm not gonna be able to see you." And I was like, telling Doug the plumber, "It must be raining like cats and dogs out there or something." Then we look over, and you couldn't see the house from that branch.
No, you couldn't. I mean, it was a big tree.
We shouldn't even try to go to work that day. It was just a cluster.
Oh yeah.
I mean, trees were falling down. The storm was still going, but we had power. By the time I went to Hammond's, I had to take a 10-mile detour, and then went back to Hammond's, and another tree fell, and I got blocked off from the job. I had to go borrow a homeowner's saw.
Really?
Cut my way in, because my buddy Stephen A. lives right next to the job site.
Yeah.
Get the guys out. And then Stephen A. called me like 10 o'clock at night. They finally moved that tree and got the power on.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
And then today, still in Belgrade, the power went back out.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there were still a lot of lines going out today.
A bunch of kids don't have power.
Yeah.
You forget this time of year, those windstorms come up. And I think because it's been so quiet all year, like nothing had been moved around. So like everything fell at once. But it looked like a bomb went off.
Yeah. Well, I showed up that morning to headquarters. Figuring stuff would blown away and show up, and the moose had blown over. And I thought maybe the sign would blow, but that moose, it's like, holy smokes.
That moose, did you get up yourself?
No, Isadora and I put it back up and then staked it back down. So hopefully it's there to stay.
The moose is on the loose.
Yeah. But no, we just, it's kind of tricky with the rain with the woodshed right now, but, there's umbrellas. We're going to have some canopies. It's a work in progress. But I just had some smoked wings from
those smell good, huh?
Yeah.
That smoke is awesome.
I showed it this morning. Just the smell was intoxicating.
Yeah, I was talking to Cole. We'll make the switch sometime to go inside. There's a way to do it COVID friendly. You can put booths up with plexiglass.
Absolutely.
My advisor suggested you have Vinny make some things and just put tarps over it. That was her suggestion.
Just some pergola type.
I like it.
Yeah.
Some campfires. That was her suggestion today.
If anyone wants to know, Maggie's whole school loves to show her teachers, especially.
No,
she cannot get away from
us.
She thinks she's going to school and get away from us.
I don't have to go anymore.
Was it your advisor that said that first day?
Probably.
Yes. Well, all right. We will be right back with Karen Carberry Warhola.
I absolutely cherish the freedom that art gives me. It's complete creativity. What I'm thinking when I'm painting is not always about painting. Sometimes my mind just wanders to 100 different other places. I create and watch the picture happen, and it's just freedom. Just freedom for me. Oh, I work at the local hospital in the emergency room. And it's a great place, but after a long day at work, this studio is a very good stress reliever for me. I come down here, not really intending to start a painting sometimes. I just come down to grab something, and then 4 hours later I'm into a painting and nothing else got done, and I feel great. It's fun, it's just fun to take colors and splash them on a canvas and see what happens. There is no consequence to this. If I don't like it when I'm done, that's okay. I'll do it again. Putting it out there is a big step. It really is. And it takes some courage to put it out there. Not everybody's going to love everything, and that's a freedom that is, it probably took me a little bit to find, but once you find it, it's such a good feeling. It really is. I have enjoyed the process so much, and it's a release. And, if it grows, great. But my own satisfaction is mostly what I'm looking at. We'll see where it takes us, Right now I feel good about it.
All right, we are back with Karen Carberry Warhola. How are you?
Good. How are you today?
Very good, very good. And you are the director of the Maine Film Office.
Yes.
All right.
I've been with the Film Office since 2012.
Oh, nice.
Nice. And what is the Maine Film Office?
Well,
let's start right there. Well, no, sorry. Water, coffee, or beer?
Water.
Okay.
I'm going to go water today, too.
And I got to admit, I did ask earlier.
I know, I was coming in.
We had no coffee.
I'm going to have to get the coffee maker going at some point. It's almost that time of year.
And here's a water bottle for you to take home.
Parting
Oh,
gift.
thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So, yeah, let's start. What is the Maine Film Office? Is it a state?
Yes, it's a state office.
State office.
We're actually within tourism at the Department of Economic and Community Development.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So in the same way that tourism is a marketing office, they do a lot of things under that umbrella. But that's exactly what the film office is. We market the state of Maine as a filming location.
Oh, cool.
For films, TV shows, photography, just a bunch of stuff, commercials.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, and we do a lot of things under that umbrella of marketing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Not just feature-length films, because that's the first thing you think.
Right. Right. Feature-length films, television series.
Yeah.
And also there's a lot of TV shows that will bring like 1 or 2 episodes here.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
So how does the whole process, because it's interesting for us just because, we just showed up on the set one day and there were a film crew, but it sounds like there's a lot more that goes involved. Like permitting, is that part of it as well?
Yeah, permitting is part of it. In Maine, we don't have film-specific permits for the state of Maine. We do ask productions to register so that we know who's doing what and where they are. But there's no permitting here except for the city of Portland and state and national park. That's pretty much it. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't know that. So if they have a question at all about filming in Maine, they reach out to my office and they call me.
Gotcha.
And, you know, some of the help, whatever help they need, we're there to help. I mean, we've had some productions. One of the first films I worked on actually came in the wintertime, and my first winter with the office, and they were doing a ice fishing scene. And it wasn't in the script that they were going to catch a fish or anything, but all of a sudden they went, what happens if we do? We don't want anyone to shut us down. We don't have a license, you know.
Right.
So they called me up and said, you know, who do we need to talk to? We're shooting soon. So you just introduce them to somebody. You know, another production needed a Maine license plate to put on a vehicle to make it look even more real. Another one was bringing a veterinarian into Maine, and they wanted to do a pilot with them. But it was like, oh, they need a license in Maine to, you know. So it's a lot of different things. It's locations, permits, and this year a lot of questions about COVID. And
Sure,
yeah,
absolutely.
can we film in Maine? If so, what do we need to do? And can we come and all that?
And because of where Maine is and the geography, we've actually been lucky. We're one of the
Yeah.
few shows that have been filming throughout. You know, when we hear back from everyone out west in LA,
Yeah.
most people are shut down.
Yeah.
And, you know, because Maine, you know, we've had a strong record of, like, you know, being regulations there, and just geographically speaking, we're kind of isolated. So we've been able to keep going.
Definitely. I know that once everything happened, productions just started looking out and calling. It's not mine, is it?
It's Ryan. Ryan.
I just shut it. It was off.
And it's your wife, nonetheless.
But production started calling everywhere,
Wait,
you know,
sorry,
trying to
let me
find
go
out.
and ask the question again.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Was it your question or Chase's question? I don't remember.
Oh, we were talking about how Maine. We
COVID safety.
Yeah, Maine was very
Oh, yeah,
COVID.
yeah, yeah.
Do you want to start there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're actually one of the few shows that have been able to film throughout the COVID thing. You know, talking to the producers and the cameramen and stuff from LA and Denver. Most shows have been were shut down for quite a while.
Yeah, I think that's one of the first things that a lot of productions did, you know, not just here but all over the world, was just start calling. Where can we film? You know, where we're used to filming, what's going on there, and are they allowing filming? And if they are allowing filming, do we really want to go there?
Right.
You know, and they started calling Maine, and I talked to so many different people, and you know, I think Maine is a place that is such a well-known brand, and people love it. And I always feel like there's 6 degrees of separation whenever I meet somebody from somewhere else about Maine. They either grew up here, went to camp here, their in-laws are from here, and at the very least, it's on their bucket list to come here.
Yeah.
So a lot of people like it here, and they know of it. And when they found out you could film here and you can live here while you're filming, and it was pretty safe, you know. So yeah, it's been a really busy summer in Maine.
There have been a lot of silver linings, you know, here and there, little silver linings.
Yeah.
One of them, we've always had cameramen, drone operators that flew in from all over the country, really. And this year is the first time we had to go with an all-Maine crew, and they've done a heck of a job.
I think that's awesome.
Yep, they really stepped up.
And it got our weekends back.
Yeah, we got our weekends back.
That was the best part of it.
I know, I feel bad saying that Corona's been kind of good to us because...
Well, I think it's not that. It's making the best of a horrible situation and finding the positives in a sea of negativity.
Yeah.
Being able to shoot the show with a whole Maine crew must save production companies so much money in plane tickets. They're constantly changing their plane tickets. That's not cheap.
Right.
You know, on both ends, adding days, taking days off. Now, if we need to film something, boom, they can have the guys here in like 2 or 3 days.
And it's awesome because there's so many good crew here, and there's so many wonderful people who are so talented here in Maine. So I'm really glad to see them getting that opportunity to show you guys and all the other productions how really talented they are. You don't need to bring people in.
Right.
Well,
I
think a lot of the film crew is happy as well because they don't have to, travel to, for work and stuff like that as much. They can stay right home, work where they live and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it seems like Maine's always popular. Like you said, it's iconic. It's got that brand, but it seems like it's also hot right now as well. Have you noticed a an increase recently in production happening in Maine?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, summer is always our busiest time of the year. I mean, originally I thought it was all going to be in the summer and that, the winter would really slow down a lot. But there's a lot that comes in the winter, too. It's just, there's a lot of Christmas stories and other stories that do happen in the wintertime that come here. But summer is still the busiest time of the year. And so it's usually nonstop in the summer, but it's been crazy this summer. And it hasn't slowed down yet. So... and it's usually starting to slow down by now, and it hasn't. There's
That's
still
awesome.
people wanting to come. They haven't even gotten here yet. They're still location scouting.
Really?
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's really great.
A lot
Yeah.
of food shows, like in the Portland area.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
so many
sure,
good
sure,
restaurants and
Oh,
chefs
there is.
up the whole coast, and a lot
Yep.
of travel shows come here. You see,
Yep.
like you said, maybe one of a series will come here for one episode and stuff. But you see a lot
Right.
of that.
Right.
HGTV just did their yearly house contest in Portland, right?
Yes, which is amazing.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you must have the inside scoop for all the new new shows and stuff going on here. And I guess how many, at what point do people come into your office?
Yeah.
And how much of it is, from our side, I think, a pilot 1 in 100 makes it.
Yeah.
How many applicants actually make it all the way to production, or is it just once it's a guaranteed production? Is it, are they contacting you at that point?
A lot of times they contact me way back in the development stages.
Just scouting.
A lot of commercial productions will be bidding on projects, and so they'll call and they'll need numbers to put together budgets. So they call way ahead of time, sometimes even before they've found out or decided exactly where they're going to be filming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought location scout would be such a great job. Think of just traveling the world looking for cool spots.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So you must also get some pretty crazy requests.
We had one film that was shooting in a lighthouse, and they wanted to, the lighthouse kept going off.
Sure.
And they wanted it to be quiet while they were filming.
Virtually impossible.
Yeah, But we reached out to the Coast Guard, and they got them set up so that they were able to do that. So
Made it happen.
yeah, made it happen.
Maine's had a long history of the films. A lot of Stephen King did a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, he's probably the number one person you think of. But there's been a ton of other stuff. Like, it's funny, since we've been shooting the show, we actually have, been around some films. So first season we were down by Pet Cemetery.
Yep.
We stayed in a house like two houses down or something.
Yep.
And then Astrea, was that the movie?
Yes.
We stayed in that red house that something
Did
was
you?
filmed in Bridgeton.
That was actually the first film that I worked with
Yeah.
when I started with the
When
film
you said,
office.
I figured that
No
when you said
kidding.
the winner. Yeah, we stayed in
Yeah.
that house.
Yeah.
We actually watched it. It's kind of creepy.
I bet. So the movie I was in was a made-for-TV Stephen King story, The Storm of the Century.
Oh yeah.
And
Where was that at?
It was in downtown Southwest Harbor, and it was supposed to be this storm that set in, and there was no snow that winter. So I remember they brought in these giant fans with mashed potato flakes, and then it started to rain.
Oh, God.
And so it just mixed together, and you just come inside, and you just be caked with mashed potatoes all over you. And there's one scene, it's the back of me pushing a truck down Main Street is the only piece that made it into the show.
I never knew you were on TV before this. That's a secret you kept from us.
It's not all glamorous.
It is not. And just an extra, they just stuff you in a room, so you just sit here till we need you.
Yeah.
And so you just sit there and, like I said, then come out, you're covered with mashed potato flakes. It's like,
Yeah.
We were on going through Netflix the other day, and one of the new movies was Blow the Man Down.
Yes.
It was interesting,
Yeah.
but it wasn't a bad movie. I like watching it because they had more of a Massachusetts dialect to me, but watch it and see how real it is.
Yeah.
And but they were right in Harpswell, and I could see
Yeah.
the house that I helped build with Dan Kibbins and Dixie.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But a lot of filming in Maine.
Yeah, a lot of filming, and that's we've had a couple films film in that same area.
Yeah.
It's just really gorgeous. I mean,
Well, Maine's so iconic, and there's
it is.
the coast
It
and
is.
then the mountains and
Yeah.
The lakes, all
And
of
a
it.
lot of the productions didn't know when I first started with the office that we had mountains in Maine.
Right.
They didn't know it. And so I would go to trade shows and I'd have a big photographs on the back of the booth. And I just made sure I had mountains, the biggest photos, and people would just walk up to it. Even other people who do what I do in other states came up and said, I didn't know you had mountains in Maine. But I made it a point. I wanted to push inland and the lakes and the mountains and every part of Maine.
Right.
That was one of the questions I had for you. Does every state have a film industry, or only every state has one?
Yeah, not just every state, but every country.
So you have it good coming
They're
from
all
Maine,
over.
because Maine has a lot to offer. And I'm not trying to downplay any of these other states, but there's some states out there that just are
Of course.
pretty flat, and it's harder for them to sell
Well, but
their
if that's
state.
what you're looking for.
Right. No, I know what you're saying, but
There's a movie for every state.
yeah, exactly. All right.
And every country as well. So, I mean,
Yeah.
is there competition between
Yes.
U.S., Canada, Maine? I mean,
Yeah, every state has to deal with competition from Canada, because they have such a huge industry up there. They've been working to build it for years.
right.
And because of that, they have a really deep crew, lots of stages, lots of everything. So, but it's I was on the board of an association called the Association of Film Commissioners International for a few years. And basically, it is the trade organization for people who do what I do. And they're literally all over the country. I mean, I worked with the woman who ran the Vienna Film Office and just all sorts of different countries and different states.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, it's everywhere you go. There's somebody who wants to film.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. That's one of the things that productions really want is they want to film somewhere that hasn't been overexposed on the big screen. Mm-hmm. So, they're always looking for someplace new. And we had a lot, I'm sorry, we've had a lot filming here, but there's lots of Maine that hasn't even been shown yet. So.
Yeah, there's lots of Maine. So one of the first camps we did on the rocks was on Long Pond, or Great Pond. And so on Golden Pond, there's always an argument about where it took place really.
Oh, yeah.
Originally?
Yeah. They're like, it was filmed here, it was written here. Everybody tries to stake claim to it, but...
Yeah, it was set in Maine.
Right. But which pond, we'll never know.
No.
How many Stephen King movies have been filmed in Maine? Not all. I mean, they film all over the world, but he's done a lot here, hasn't he? Some?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of his earlier films were filmed here. Yeah. There's, you can Google it and you can see maps on, Google just map us sort of where Stephen King movies have been filmed in Maine.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's so many maps of where Stephen King films have shot.
He's the first one. My mind goes to Stephen King first.
Oh, yeah. I walked into Disney one time and I was going to a meeting with some of the executives. And as they're walking me down the corridor to go to the conference room, the woman leading me down the corridor just turned around and said, "You're from Stephen King's hometown, aren't you?" Everybody knows him.
Yes.
Especially in my business.
Oh, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are you, say, with GoPros now and all these drones and stuff, has that affected your business on the smaller amateur scale, or are we just talking big time, true production company productions?
No, all of them are doing it.
That's cool.
All of them are doing it. It just affords every production just a more beautiful look, and they can see so much more. It's all about how it looks on the screen. Mm-hmm. In the end, when it's edited and people go to the movie theater and watch it, it's just all about what's on the screen. And everybody wants to be able to make their film look like they had more money. So,
right.
To spend on it, to make it look really pretty and great on the screen. So that kind of technology really helps them do that.
And it's amazing how the technology's, some of those GoPros and those small cameras are phenomenal.
They are. And we have some really great operators here in Maine who can do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And so you go all the way from, these large scale productions down to commercials. A lot of fashion commercials, like the Old Port section of Portland. They love those cobblestone streets to do fashion shoots. Oh. Car commercials seem to love Acadia. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They love that sort of driving along the seaside. There's some great roads there for that, and long ones. It's all over.
How fun.
It is. It's fun. It's what I've done my whole career.
Yeah.
I used to work at Disney out in LA.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. I started with Buena Vista and then went to Touchstone and then ABC. And then I moved back to Maine and met my now husband. And so I'm here. I'm back.
From Maine originally?
Well, my father's, I'm a Navy brat.
Yeah.
So my father was stationed at the the Naval Air Station in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Yeah.
And so that's where I was born. But he got transferred to Brunswick when I was 2 years old. So I came here when I was 2. I guess.
So you're a man.
You know, yeah, that's
Yes.
what I consider myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I went to school here, college here.
Boomerang, like we all did. We all went out
Yeah.
west and came back.
Yeah.
Where did you go to college?
University of Maine at Orono.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
With this type of career in mind?
Not at first. I actually, this is going to sound really odd, but I wanted to be a photographer,
Yeah.
and I wanted to be embedded in war zones.
Oh, interesting.
That was what I wanted to do when I went. And I got some work study money and to help pay for it. And they said, go, check out this bulletin board. There's a lot of jobs listing, and you get one, and that's how you get your work study money. And there was one at MPBN, which used to have a studio at the Orono's campus.
Okay.
So I thought, well, that sounds like kind of fun. So I went over there, and Gene Meserve was in there shooting a show with Ed Fowler and some other people, and it was like, I just fell in love with it, and that was it.
Oh, that's
That was
awesome.
what I wanted to do.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so you've been with the Maine Film Office for 12 years, you said?
No, since 2012.
Since
So
2012.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 8 years.
And have you seen a lot change in that time? I mean, because it's an ever-changing market.
Yeah.
Have you seen a lot of changes come through this?
Most of the changes are kind of a result of the technology that have come through. Because basically what I've always said is with anything, whether it's a television show, a television series, or a movie, basically it's all about a good story told well. And so that never changes, Hopefully it just gets better and better. And I love the stories, and I love watching the films and the TV shows. But really the big changes have just been with the technology. And, productions used to shoot pretty much in LA. They didn't they didn't venture out. And then they started venturing out. So, but that happened before I started with the film office. By the time I started in 2012, they had already started coming to Maine.
And so it's fascinating to me that, it's really interesting, I think, to see how the marketability of Maine for all the film side of things.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, really one of the big things is that people like Maine.
Yeah.
They really do. 6 degrees of separation. They like it here. And the good news is that if you're going to film something in Maine, you get to live here too. So you get to live and work in Maine at the same time if you're filming something here. So, it's such a draw. We had one production where one of the actresses was done her portion of filming, and she ended up by just staying 2 more weeks because she was having such a great time, and the film was still filming.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, the Maine brand is huge right now.
Oh, it is.
We've talked to people about working on our social media and stuff, and they're all like, it doesn't even have to be Cabin Master pictures, a picture of us, just pictures of Maine.
Yeah.
Beautiful pictures of Maine. Like, Maine is so hot right now and just selling everywhere. And
Yeah.
it's about the brand.
It's a beautiful state.
And then with everything you guys do, making it more accessible and more of the information out there and
Yeah.
technology, I think it's just going to get better and better, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's our show, and you see that the Lost Kitchen has a show now, and
Yep.
the Poop Lady has a show.
works.
And there's been a lot in the last 10 years,
Yeah.
And I think it's going to
has
happen
been.
more and more.
Yeah.
They tried our concept. They tried to get people in Michigan, I think maybe in Alaska, and one of the reasons it worked the best was because of our group of friends and family
Yeah.
and Maine.
Yeah.
It's you can't make that up somewhere else.
Yeah. And that's all about the story.
Right.
That's the story. That's
Yeah.
you guys. That's what you do and where you live.
And I think a lot of who we are is because we're from Maine.
For sure.
A big part of who we are and what we believe in. And
Yeah.
Because- because what Maine is.
Yeah, and on the same, we have members of the production team who come here now for vacations, or bring their families out because they show up and they're like, man, this is a great place to work and vacation.
Yeah.
The best of both worlds.
I just
Yeah.
met a couple 20 minutes ago in the Woodshed. We came up from Kentucky because of your show. It really has helped out the economy of Maine. It'd be neat to put a dollar value on what
Yeah.
our show and all these other people that are ambassadors of Maine do for
Yeah.
the state.
Yeah, it's a great economic
It's
opportunity.
endless.
It really is. Because the productions come in, they spend a lot of money, and then they leave.
It's amazing how much money they spend.
And even beyond that, once the film or the TV show gets out there and people start to see it, it's like advertising for the state. It's like it gives a lot of other people who haven't been here yet a chance to see it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
We try to get, we try to feature some local artists and craftsmen on the show and do segments with them.
Yeah.
And, the ones that come on, like, oh, that's great. But they don't realize that the show, that episode probably is aired 100 times. I mean, they show it all the time. So it's constantly on.
And not just on the DIY network.
No, all over.
Yeah.
What have we've been on Animal Planet. Oh, there's a ton of
them. Country
CMT,
something like that.
I think we've been on 5 or 6 channels, because they're all umbrella under Discovery.
Right.
But it's neat because they'll call me like, Ryan, we knew our episode was on because our internet sales spiked or our phones spiked.
Yeah.
They can literally track it back.
Yeah.
It's a great tool.
Definitely.
Yeah. Have you come up with any great plot lines or movies after seeing all the different people you've been working with? Working on any scripts that you're going to sneak over to one of the production teams?
No. I very early on decided that I wanted to be behind a camera and not in front of a camera, not be the creative person on it. I'm one of the people who makes it happen. People come up with ideas for things, and other people make it happen.
Yeah.
So I'm one of those people.
Nice.
So
no scripts.
No scripts.
Sorry.
What would the highest value production be in Maine, you think, ever for what movie? Could you pick one, you think, that had the highest cost?
Highest
like
cost
the biggest
of film?
production, yeah.
Oh, boy. I think that would probably go back to some of them like Man Without a Face.
Oh, yeah. That was Mel Gibson?
That was down in Pimlico.
Yeah. And then there's some others. There's a Message in a Bottle.
Oh, that
Kevin Costner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Maybe that was Pimlico. I don't remember.
Yeah, there's been just so many.
Oh, you got a whole list
Empire Falls.
Yeah, Empire Falls is the big one.
You can't, And you can't ever, when you're talking about films in Maine, you can't exclude Peyton Place. I mean, that's such a classic that was made in Maine.
That was the 50s in Camden?
Way back.
Yes. What's Peyton Place?
Oh, it's a really old. You'll have to catch it sometime.
All right,
it's a really old film, but it still has fan clubs and just there was some anniversary date.
Yeah.
I don't know how many years it was from the time they filmed, but a lot of people came to where it was filmed.
Oh, right.
And it was back in the day. Camden was pretty hopping, right, with film industry people and famous actors and.
Oh yeah.
I think Peyton's Place is down there. That's
another really cool thing about the indies that come to Maine. Is that they may be smaller films, but a lot of actors who are out there, they kind of feel typecast, or they want to try something different. They've always been the good guy, they want to be the bad guy. Or they have a friend they want to work with because they have a friend who wants to direct for the first time. It's like, I'll help you, I'll be in your film. So it's amazing if you look at the list. We've got on the Maine Film Office website, we've got a list of films in Maine, and we include in there all the actors who have been in it and the director and all that. It's incredible the amount of people who have come to Maine and are in the films that have been filmed in Maine. It's cool. It's really amazing. So and that helps because the more that happens, the more the films get seen.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we researched your website. It's kind of thinking about Maine movies. I kept thinking like a lot of the Maine movies are like there's a lot of drama and suspense, and maybe just edgy and rugged. And I kind of think of why, and came up with the theory that it's just because Maine's so raw and rough, and the coast is like people are just so bold and stuff. Like it seems like that genre of movie is pretty popular in Maine.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the geography in Maine lends itself to great stories like that. It really does. I mean, if you want a story like that, where are you going to go film it?
Right.
You're going to come to Maine.
True. Very true. Yeah. So Maggie has some questions. She's giving me the thumbs up.
Okay.
I have a few.
She's got a few.
All right. Your first question is from Sue Turnbull, I don't know. Can you describe the film/TV industry in Maine just using 3 words?
Oh.
Wow.
That's a short answer.
Just using 3 words, that's hard. The film industry in Maine. It's really, okay, I have to stop the 3 words, right?
We'll paraphrase.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to make a sentence.
We'll edit it out. You'll just talk for 5 minutes. You'll have 3 words out of that.
It's, Maine, they love their, art. And artists are big in Maine, and film is part of that, segment of the art industry. And so people love films too. And so it's a really robust and part of the economy. Mm-hmm. It's really a robust, the film industry in Maine, there's a lot of people working in it, a lot of people who love it. They don't want to do anything else. Mm-hmm. But that's very Maine. They like working outdoors and they're very excited about it. Yeah. That's way more than 3 words. I'm sorry.
I got excited.
I got excited, robust.
Yeah.
Art.
Yeah, and art.
There you go.
Artistic.
Those are three great words.
I was trying to string 3 together.
We got you back.
That's great. Thank you.
Okay. This is from Cindy. What is the biggest challenge of your job?
The biggest challenge, boy, that's hard to say. I mean, I love what I do. I really do. So it I don't look at it like a challenge, but one of the things that might be considered a real challenge is just that it's 24/7. It's production. It's production. They're always working, and they always need something. And it doesn't matter if it's 5 o'clock on a Saturday. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if you just sat down to the dinner table. If they find out, tomorrow we just lost our Jenny, and we need a new one, who are we going to call? Call Karen. And I love doing it. It's also one of my favorite, things to do too, because I really like working with the productions, and I really like helping them. It's what I've done my entire career. And I used to be on production. I was one of the people in the office. I was a production coordinator, then a production manager. So
after watching our production, they can be very not demanding, but like you said, when they need something, they need it right then.
They do.
It's essential, and
there's so much money riding on it, though.
For sure.
There really is,
so
every
much
minute. I remember one time I was being trained as an executive in charge of productions, just on really small development projects. And I was taught, when you go into the filming, you have, and I'm sure people do it all sorts of different ways, but she asked me to put together the budget and know when we come to the end of it, if the director still wants to keep going at the end of the amount of hours we have scheduled for it, you need to be able to say, that's going to cost X amount of dollars if you want to go another half hour. You want to go an hour? Okay, if you drop this, drop that, just keep the camera, just keep audio, do that, then you can go an hour, but otherwise a half an hour. It's just,
Holy.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it.
Yeah, there is.
Yes.
But I love it. So it's one of the most challenging things, but also one of the things I like the most.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Is Maine an all-season shooting location, or do crews shy away during the extreme months?
I thought they would shy away during the extreme months. I really did. When I first started with the Film Office back in 2012, I just thought that would be the slow time, and I didn't know how much was going to come, and I didn't expect much. But it started right away. Definitely summer is the big season for filming in Maine, because we don't have the big stages, so it's all outdoors.
The days are
mainly.
long, days are beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. The days are beautiful, and they want to be here in the summertime. So, so a lot of it, and there's more stories that are written about warm weather than there are that are written about winter or Christmas or whatever. But I was actually surprised to see how much filming does happen in the winter here. I mean, I've had productions reach out to me and say, we're doing a shoot, and we have somebody running down a road and with all these snowbanks, and we need to get our camera gear in there, so we need to rent some snowmobiles, it started, so there is a fair amount of filming in the wintertime. It does slow down some, though.
When we first started the show, we did the pilot in the fall, and that was good. Then we came back, we started in the spring, and we went all year long the first year until the fall. And I respected them, but then the next year we started out really early, and I mean they were working in snowstorms,
absolutely,
waist deep snow, and they have to bring so much gear. you know, to the shoot. Because this stuff they say they might even use once a season, but they have to have it in case they need it for that perfect shot.
Yeah.
And I mean, they work so hard, and it's usually 12-hour days.
Oh yeah,
You know,
easily.
a lot of them are union, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough work, but
Yeah.
it's very impressive.
Yeah.
They really impress me.
Yeah, and there was a lot of, well, you know, going back to how a lot of people don't, you know, just see Maine as the coastline and the beauty. Maine winters are hard. Do you ever have to like clue people in, say, hey, look, you know, it's going to be tough here. You know, there's going to be a lot of snow.
You could lose a finger or toe.
Yeah, you know, people showing up thinking, oh, it's,
Yeah.
you know, beautiful winter day to do some filming, but, you know, with limited daylight and just...
Yeah. Usually, most of them know that before they make the decision to film here. They find out during pre-production, during development about that. And most of them come here because that's exactly what they're looking for. They need that on the screen. They need that look on the screen. And so, you know, I've gone out and met with productions who've shot in the wintertime, and man, they all talk about how they went out shopping for all their jackets. It's all new gear. And it's, you know.
The black puffy jackets. Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
I literally thought we were making a rap video the first time I saw them in the winter. They all had their black puffy jackets on, their hats, and their big black boots.
Suburbans.
So season 2, we started out. We did 2 camps on Clearwater. So we always film an arrival the first day. So first day we get to Clearwater. It's winter. The lake is frozen solid, but there's no snow. So we're riding snowmobiles, like a tiny bit of snow across, and we're trudging back and forth the lake. And they could actually bring the vehicle on, so it was great. They could stay warm. And we're way across. It was Dora Mills Camp.
Yep.
Well, the next day we got a huge storm. Same lake we show up, and there was like 2 feet of snow.
Oh, yeah.
So then we're trudging across. They're filming us, and same thing. I mean, the day was just getting long, and there was stuff everywhere. Do you think we can rent snowmobiles or rent a helicopter? And like, it would.
Yeah.
We'll get out of here faster walking by the time we get a snowmobile here. But, I mean, that was a good lesson for them how quick the weather can change.
Yeah.
But they kept trudging through.
You got to love what you do to do that. And there are other places where they could be filming that just has a different type of problem. It could be so hot.
Right.
You know, just, yeah. So, you got to love what you're doing. And if you do, you know, a lot of the people who work in the industry just love the outdoors anyway. I mean, they love it. So the thought of coming to a place like Maine doesn't really bother them. I mean, they look forward to it.
Yeah, oh, yeah, for sure.
Doing a little skiing on the downtime.
Yeah.
All right. Last question. What is your favorite part of the state? Like southern Maine, the mountains, the coast?
That's a tough question. I don't know that I could pick because I love the variety. I really do. I used to really be an ocean person, and I still am. I love the ocean. I mean, there's just something magnificent about it when you stand there and you're right in front of the ocean, and it's so larger than life. It's like standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon. It's just beautiful. It really is. But I'm a real lake person. I love lakes, and Maine has them all over the place. So, you know, and I also just like going off the beaten track in other places. There's so many just out of the way wooded places that you can just go and just, you know, be alone.
Oh, for sure.
Which is nice sometimes.
Yeah.
But I am a lake person, but I like it all. I do. I love this season. With the leaves changing.
Fall. Yes,
oh,
yes.
Yeah, I love fall.
Yeah.
September is my favorite month weather-wise, and this one was off the charts.
It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any dirt on Maine Cabin Masters? Have there been any outrageous requests, any gossip, anything like that?
I haven't heard a thing.
Fantastic!
Yeah. You looked a little nervous asking that.
You never know. Making sure they weren't asking to start filming, you know, with another group of people or anything like that.
Exactly.
No.
Good.
No, all I've heard are good things. I mean, you have a huge following on your show, and, you know, there's a lot of people who like Maine, and this is a chance for them to see it. Seeing it through your show.
And that's what we hear all the time. Yeah. Like you said, beginning, that there's a connection.
There is.
And that's, you know, there's a connection to the work we do. There's a connection to the location. There's a connection to camps. Just all of it. And,
you know, that's such a part of the lifestyle here in Maine. It's just camps. I remember going to camp when I was a kid. That's where I learned how to swim and everything. And just everybody had a camp, it seemed.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's a way of life here. That and summer camp for kids. You know, they start them early.
Yes,
They
they
do.
yes they do.
We've been starting them to work early these days. Mini masters, right?
Yeah.
Keep them
Yeah.
going.
Getting the kids going.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. This has been really eye-opening, interesting. You know, again, it's kind of getting a peek behind the scenes, everything that's going on to make the shows in the state.
Yeah.
And we want thank you for all that you do to
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you, Karen.
all the
It's-
crazy requests you get. Thank you for
Yeah.
making it all happen.
And it is one of my favorite parts of the job, so
And
you're welcome.
What is your website? What is your website again, so we can have people check it out?
It's filminmaine.com.
Filminmaine.com. So check it out. A lot of great
Yeah.
information on there.
Yeah.
Kind of neat to see all the old movies and go through. And,
Yes. Yes.
and Chase will do some homework on Peyton's Place.
I will.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch. Maybe we can find it on Netflix. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, that was extremely interesting. I learned a lot.
So many facets of the TV show you don't realize, like how deep it reaches and how many jobs it impacts and lives it impacts.
Yeah, for sure. And it is. I mean, production can be extremely demanding and ask some crazy asks. So thank you again, Karen, for making it all happen.
Yeah,
Keeping it all rolling, keeping the cameras rolling. So do you have any other questions, Maggie?
I do.
She's always got questions for us. I want to go back and have a Maine movie marathon now.
No, thank you. You two can go have bro time.
Aw, okay. Like, what's your favorite Maine movie? I always think Stand By Me is based in Maine, right? But it wasn't shot in Maine.
Oh, wait. Well, that's... I mean, are we talking shot in Maine?
I was
Or
talking
based in
shot
Maine?
in Maine, but I always want to say Stand By Me. But
I say Stand By Me and Shawshank Redemption are...
neither of those was shot
Oh, I
in Maine.
know.
Were they or not? I don't think they
No.
were.
Oh, I just thought of the question I wanted to ask Karen.
What was it? Ask me.
If she ever helps find people to help actors with accents.
Oh, that's a great question.
Shoot, I totally forgot. I'll get it next round. But it's so funny to watch some of the movies and hear the Maine accent.
Well, because like I said, we watched that one the other day just because it's from Maine.
Yeah.
And like you could see what I said it to her. Well, it probably wasn't the best movie, but they were more like Boston accents.
Right,
You know,
right,
it's
yeah.
like it's not Boston. There's a difference if you're Maine.
Yeah, and there's definitely different sub-dialects across the state, too, which is very interesting.
Right.
So, all right, sorry. Questions?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, this one is from Karsten. Wondering about the Cabin Masters NFL thoughts about Tom Brady not playing for the whatever team, Tampa Bay.
Tom Brady now plays for the
Happy
Tampa Bay
sad.
Bucks. We
I'll
finally
leave-
got a
yeah, I'll leave that to Ryan.
sports question. And was it Tom that asked us?
Karsten.
Carson, a great question. I've been really excited to see how it plays out, to be honest with you. One thing I do think, though, is I do think Bill Belichick really disliked Tom Brady because this year his demeanor is so much different with Cam Newton. Like, he's more laid back. He's not as edgy. So it's been interesting. But then you watch Tom Brady's he had a couple bad games. He had a good game. So the jury's still out on that. But I do think the Patriots are going to be better than I thought as long as Cam Newton can stay healthy. So go Pats.
How are the Bucks
Tampa
doing?
Bay's good. Tampa Bay Bucks are really good. I actually have Gronkowski. Rob Gronkowski went there too. Remember they were the duo?
Yeah.
I got him on my fantasy team, so I was all excited. But he's not doing that great because they have so many better players than him now.
Really?
So I kind of played him the first 2 weeks out of loyalty and
Yep.
a love for him. But he's not producing, so he's going to be on the bench.
Oh, benching him. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will not put in my 2 cents.
Okay. This question is from Laura. Have any of you climbed Mount Katahdin, and if so, can you describe the knife's edge?
Yes.
Nice Edge is awesome.
It is. It really is. My Aunt Jenny had a tradition when any of her nieces or nephews got into 4th grade, she would take them to climb Mount Katahdin.
4th grade? That seems too young.
No, I think her kids did it when they
Yeah.
were like 2 or 3 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you talk to the Morrills, and they've all been up as babies.
Because you guys had a girls' trip, right? 2 years ago?
Yeah, me, my mom, and my sister.
You didn't make it up that time,
No.
but you made it up to Chimney Pond and a little further.
Yeah, we were like this close from the top.
Mount Katahdin is the biggest mountain in Maine, if people don't know. And, I mean, it's a mile high, over a mile high.
Yeah, it's a mile high because they built that cairn on top to get it right to the same height.
Pretty much sea level to a mile. I mean, it's some of the trails are straight up.
Yep.
And the Knife's Edge, you go from, is it Pomola Peak to...
I can't remember. I don't
you go
know.
from the main peak one way down, but it's literally, how wide do you think I think it is? 2, 3 or 4 feet in spots?
Oh, yeah. And I mean, you're...
Straight down.
Yeah, and it's intense.
If it's a windy day, they'll shut it down.
Yes. But yeah, I've done it a few times.
I've done it a few times. What was your strategy back in the day?
Just put my head down and just keep hiking.
I was like, just get it over with, so I'd go right up A-ball.
What's the long...
Helon Taylor, I think.
Yeah. We came down that, and I just remember, like, this trail cannot keep going.
I used to love hiking in my 20s and like half my 30s, and it was going down that I hated.
Yep.
You know, like on your knees and stuff. Like
I don't like the falling down the mountain part.
Yeah,
looking like you could fall down.
Right. Then you would not like Knife's Edge.
No.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, Knife's Edge. I mean, it's pretty dramatic. It's iconic, but it's literally a drop off, a couple hundred feet on each side.
Yep. And Fletcher just got a graphic novel, comic book, about Lost on a Mountain, Maine. Don Fenley, the most famous. I should ask. Geez, now I have all these questions. If that was ever made into a movie,
should have been.
Yeah, I think they've tried a couple times, but the closest they came was a.
Did everyone read that in like 4th grade or 5th grade?
No.
Yes.
I've never read it.
You were missing out.
Did you read it, Emma?
Yeah,
No.
we had it in the classroom, but no, I never had any interest in reading it.
Mimi Peggy taught 4th grade, and there was always a Maine section.
Yeah.
She made everybody read it, and I think we were doing that even before she was teaching.
I still remember doing that in 4th grade. I remember the map I had to draw. And
had to write an article, had to reach out to a chamber of commerce at some town in Maine, had to do a report on a county.
I had to do that.
Don Fenley was one of the most famous, and he just passed a couple of years ago.
Yep.
But he was one of the most famous Maine stories.
Yeah, so Knife's Edge really is intense.
Yeah, and so if you have never heard the Don Fenley story, go check it out. It's a great book. 9-year-old kid gets lost in Maine in like the 40s or 50s.
Yeah.
And survives. Well, he might not. Can't tell you. I just screwed that up.
Wait.
He survives.
It was that long ago?
There's a lot of bad stuff happens to him.
And he was out there for like over a week.
Indians and bears. You gotta watch it. Yeah. Read it.
Me too. All right. This question is from Jeff. My son is 15 and is an excellent student, particularly math, science, and woodshop. He has begun talking about construction trade as a career path. What advice would you give him to help him decide his next steps?
Did you say he's TikToking?
No.
No. Woodworking.
Oh, he's talking about.
Talking.
Yeah.
I would encourage him. You know, I think it's a great path to have. There's so many different ways you could go.
Yeah. So many different ways you could go.
Do you think say you wanted to be a carpenter, like we took the roundabout approach. I have an English degree, you have your degree. You know, we just did it on the side and something that we loved. Like, you can go to like SMCT, like a community college, right, for carpentry.
Yep.
Like you can go.
Well, take Vinny Burtwell, for example. You know, he's our timber framer. He went to technical school for timber framing, and they had a fantastic program. But I mean, you need to be super precise. You know, you're using some pretty serious tools. Where I think that that challenge. You want to find something that challenges you.
Yeah.
You know, I think furthering the education as much as you can is going to always help. But
I've always been on the job site wondering, like, man, imagine if I went to school for this and I just knew all my common rafter measurements and all my other stuff and everything on my speed square worked perfectly. You know, all that's that you learn in school that we don't. We just figure it out. But I've worked with carpenters. They can just bust them out in no time. Like,
absolutely. But I would say that's probably the most important thing is, go with what interests you. If you want to dive deeper into it, great. Or challenge yourself, or just get some work experience. Anything hands-on. I'm a big fan of hands-on learning. Yeah. So
go to school and just be sat on the ground guy, be a ground guy for someone, be the cut guy.
Yep.
Come to Maine and work for the Cabin Masters.
Yep. Join a crew and See how it goes.
But
Find what you like and what you don't like.
But if you want to do it as a career, I would definitely go to schools,
Yes.
and do it hands-on.
Yes.
It's because it's easy. If you want to be a young kid and start out, if you went to school and you're a hard worker, you're gonna get the reputation. You're gonna have your own business.
Yep.
By the time you're late 20s or 30s, if you're a hard worker, you can be successful in today's economy.
Yeah, if that's what you want, for sure. But if there's so many possibilities. Just encourage it.
I'd say go be a ski bum for 10 years first, but that's me.
Well, you could support ski bum lifestyle.
Yeah, be a ski bum carpenter.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
Ski bum carpenter.
Don't know why that's their choice of career, but
What did she just say?
I don't know why they would choose that career. Good luck. Don't turn out like these two.
It's an honest profession.
It's hard. Look at these hands. Come on.
That's right. Next question.
Oh. All right, last question. Wait.
Last one.
We're having fun today.
All right, this question's from Michael. What common trait have you found with cabins that have held up well to Maine weather? Sorry.
Common traits we've found that have held up in all cabins to Maine winters.
You need a big overhang. That's my biggest pet peeve. Get the water, snow, and stuff away, right?
Yes, for sure.
You need to be high off the ground.
High off the ground. As much real material as possible. Real eastern white pine, hemlock. It makes a difference because it just holds up.
And it sounds cliche, but anything on a good foundation where they put their time in, and took the time in their posts and their foundation, it really paid off. Like, remember the A-frame, the first one we did, the one I was on?
Yeah.
Up there. Remember that? It was on cedar posts, and they took the time. Those posts had not moved in 40 years. It was amazing, the shape that was in.
Yeah. Although the one Jedi's on right now, I don't know how that place is still standing. I mean...
Oh, that's bad. He's done that place.
But
looks
I think
awesome.
Yeah, again, it's on it's on a solid foundation because it's on ledge, and it's real material. But
you're gonna have to tie the old camp in the new one just to keep it up.
It's crazy. We're doing some interesting stuff this season, so it's fun and we're making good progress.
That one was built in 1897.
Yep. Knock on wood.
We should put what year was it built right on top of the application. Just kidding. We do not discriminate when it comes to cabins.
We do not.
All cabins matter.
Yes, they do.
That was a fun podcast.
Yeah. We learned a lot.
Questions?
Any more questions? So we don't have a trivia question winner from last week.
You brought the game.
I brought the game.
So tell us about this game.
So I bought this at a yard sale. So You Think You Know Maine. It is like an original Maine cardboard game. They made it into a TV show. I think my cousin Ryan was on it. Yeah,
right?
I think Ryan was on it one time.
You should ask Karen. Probably knew about this show.
Oh, I should have. So yeah, all these.
Karen, turn around. If you're on I-95 North, turn around.
So I got it at a yard sale. It's in great shape, and I
ask us a couple, will you?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the best at this game.
Hey, best out of 5, Maggie versus Ryan.
All right, ready?
There's not a chance I can win.
How much is a jag of wood?
In what unit are we?
Doesn't that just
Is the
answer
answer.
the question?
Half a cord.
A board.
A full load.
All right, 0-0. Maybe we should be.
In 1733, what kind of quarry opened in Thomaston?
Where's Thomaston again?
I'm not telling.
Granite.
No, think about it. What's right when you're going from
Tourmaline.
Thomaston up to Rockland?
I don't know where.
You drive right through it.
Tourmaline.
Cement factory.
Yep.
Cement.
What do they use to make cement?
Sand. Water.
And
Aggregate.
limestone.
I probably knew that.
Limestone blocks.
What is the name of a donut made with potatoes?
A potato donut.
A yummy breakfast.
A holy donut? What is that?
I'm not telling. That's our trivia question.
All right.
What is the name? What is it? What is the name of a donut made with potatoes?
All right. That's today's trivia
And
question.
we're going. The answer is based on So You Think You Know Maine, not official answers, anything like that. This is the official answer.
Can you ask us a question? We get one right, though. I'm feeling
Yeah.
bad
Oh, you
about
didn't get
myself.
any right?
No.
We didn't get anything right yet.
We're not doing so good.
True or false? Admiral Robert Perry was born in Maine.
True.
He went to Bowdoin.
False. He was born in Pennsylvania.
Did he go to Bowdoin at least?
It doesn't say.
I didn't know what that is.
Ask another one. Come on, Maggie.
What company was founded by Thomas Worcester Hyde in 1884?
The Worcester Reef Company.
Nope.
I don't know.
Bath Iron Works. That was an interesting one, too.
No.
We're not going home, anybody.
We're not very
this
good at
is
this.
a 2-hour-long podcast. All right, here we go. What mineral was adopted by the legislature as the state mineral?
Rainbow tourmaline. Watermelon
Tourmaline.
Tourmaline.
Yeah, tie. We won.
How often does a lobster shed its shell?
Once a year.
Yes.
Oh, we're on fire. Let's stop right there. Let's stop.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you to Karen Carberry Warhola for joining us today. Thank you to our sponsors, Nelma, nelma.org, easternwhitepine.org, sprucepinefir.org.
And herometeorarts.com. Go check them out.
And check us out, KennebecCabinCompany.com, YouTube page, wherever you can find us. Keep the comments, questions coming, and from the Woodshed, we'll be talking to you.